Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for taking a minute to invest some time in your health. That means you're the kind of person I want to know. So, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I'm just now rebuilding my channel. It was actually deleted by YouTube for censorship. It's another story, but I'm rebuilding it back and I'm excited to bring you some cutting edge health information that you can apply today to make yourself healthier and prevent yourself from getting sick. Some of the stuff costs money, some of it's free, but the better we feel, the more productive we are. And the more that we can accomplish, the more good that we can do in the world, and the more that we can be in alignment with our goals and just really just be the best version of ourselves. Because of course, when we're sick, we're not the best version of ourselves. So today I'm going to give you 3 of the best things for your immune system. Before I move on, I want you to take a second to hit that subscribe button and help me build my audience back. If you're like most of us, the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of the immune system is vitamin C. And vitamin C is great, so I don't want to, downplay the benefits of vitamin C, but it's not what I think of when I think of building the immune system anymore. Now, just as a quick note, vitamin C is great, but it does a lot more than build the immune system. In fact, there's a lot better things to build your immune system than vitamin C, and I'm getting ready to go into that. But I do want to point out one other thing about vitamin C. Our body does not make it. We're like the only mammal that doesn't make its own vitamin C, so it's crucial to get it into your diet. And you can do that through drinks. I have a healthy drink recipe playlist with a few different vitamin C drinks. But also you can supplement with it. And I've got this post that I'm going to be going over in this video where I mentioned vitamin C, and I've got links to a post about vitamin C with different forms, and I suggest taking multiple different types of vitamin C. So let's get into the first one, and that is probiotics. That's right. I know they're getting really popular, and it may just sound like a recent health fad or a buzzword, but probiotics really are what I think of when I think of the immune system. That's because 2/3 of the immune system is comprised of your gut bacteria. So that's most of your immune system. Actually, it doesn't come from vitamin C or whatever else you think it comes from. It actually comes down to these trillions of microorganisms that live on our skin and in our mouth and in our gut. And these are like, your army. So when you have pathogens that enter the body, when you notice your mouth and all the way through, you have loads of these probiotics. Actually, there's 10 times as much bacteria in your body as you have human cells. So we're way more rich in bacteria than we are in our own cells. So that's saying a lot. And it's like when you have most of them being bad bacteria, they all kind of they're like people. Like sheeple, they follow. So it works in a good way too. If you have enough good bacteria, you can get the other ones to switch, and now all of a sudden it's like you're good guys. So this is becoming more and more well known and well established in the health field. Pretty much everyone is in agreement that probiotics are essential to health. There's a famous saying that says disease starts in the colon. And one of the best things you can do to keep a healthy colon is to have a good amount of bacteria, the good kind, in your body. So most people, when they think of probiotics, they think of taking supplements. So they go out and they buy these expensive supplements from the store. You can spend upwards $50. And they all have questionable value. We all want everything in a pill. We want to just eat something really fast, really easy, boom, and there's, we accomplished our goal. But things don't always come that easy, and there's a lot of talk about supplements of probiotics not making it through the stomach and basically getting destroyed by the acids in the stomach and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of truth to that. And either way, it's got a long way to go to get all the way to your large intestine, basically right before it comes out of you. And which, by the way, poop is largely bacteria. But anyway, so you want to eat probiotic-rich foods and drink probiotic-rich beverages as your primary source of probiotics. Health lecturer and author of the Body Ecology Diet, Donna Gates, has her own product line of starter cultures that you can use to make your own cultured food and drinks. So you can make basically coconut kefir, you can make like a milk kefir. So you can culture the milk, which if you're going to have a dairy product, that is probably the best way of having it, a raw grass-fed milk, and culture it. So you can also make different things with it. You can also make all kinds of other, like for example, like kombucha. But Donna Gates believes that her particular strains of probiotics are very beneficial and are even better than kombucha. And a lot of the probiotics that you get, like from store-bought yogurt, they're transient strains, so they just go in the body for a short period of time and then they exit. Whereas these colonize in the body and they will stay in your body as long as you don't have something like antibiotics and stuff like that. So I recommend the products. I've actually did the Body Ecology Diet and it made a huge difference. It really, afterwards, things that were sweet were too sweet to me. And I think it's a great exercise for someone, and it really, especially for people beginning in their health journey, and particularly people who have like a lot of sugar cravings, maybe if you've had candida or some sort of yeast overgrowth in the past. Really for everyone. Most people, we're all eating too much sugar. So I recommend it, and it helps get your body back in balance, not just with your taste buds and your diet, but also helps get your GI tract back in balance with the good bacteria. Before I move on to the second best thing for your immune system, I want to point out one other thing that's worth noting. The medical medium, his name is Anthony William. He wrote a book called The Medical Medium, and he talks about an unknown type of probiotics that he calls elevated biotics. Elevated biotics live on fresh plants that grow outside. If you eat the plants raw, without cooking them, without washing them off, these elevated biotics will be present on the food, and according to Anthony William, they are the only probiotics that make it through your intestinal tract into the ileum. The ileum is the only place elevated biotics can make B12 in your body. According to Anthony, he says that's the best thing for your immune system. And hey, even if he isn't right, obviously eating fresh plants from your own garden is the best thing you can do anyway, right? That's the best thing that you can eat for lots of different reasons. So you might as well do it, right? And quick note, the reason why they're going to be so strong and able to make it through your intestinal tract into the ileum is because they're out there surviving in nature. Against the wind and the rain and the other pests and everything like that. They've got to be tough. And that's what makes them tough enough to get through your intestinal tract. Number 2 on my list of the best things for your immune system is herbs. Herbs are great for your immune system. There's all different kinds. But instead of thinking about 1,000 different herbs, it's best to just think about the top herbs in the world and see we're standing on the shoulders of giants. We know from thousands of years of history and literature and use which herbs are among the best. And historically, we would be limited only to the herbs that grow near us. Nowadays, you can get on Amazon and you can purchase herbs from different medical systems. So you can pick the best herbs from the Chinese medical system. You can pick the best herbs from the Ayurvedic system. You can pick the best herbs from the Amazon. So this is really a tremendous opportunity that very few people even really benefit from, you know? We're stuck with shit staring at our shiny screens and not realizing that we have access to herbs that at one time was deemed the king was or the emperor or whoever was the only one deemed to be worthy of taking these special substances. So this is really a great time to be living, and I encourage you to take advantage of our incredible access to these herbs. Now, some of the herbs you want to take only when you're sick, whereas others are herbs that are really good to take on a regular basis. Maybe not 7 days a week, but 5 or 6 days a week. See, a lot of the herbs like garlic and echinacea, they're good for your immune system. When you're sick, you can take them. You can take them for a few days or whatever, but they're really not ideal to be taken every day. Garlic is like the big, strong muscle man that just comes in and just, tears things up and does damage. It's good when you're sick. You can eat garlic, but hey, how much garlic can you really eat? And then you'll start smelling like garlic. So just a few quick tips. You can soak your garlic in apple cider vinegar for a day or two. I peel it or buy it already peeled. Actually, that saves a lot of time. And then then fill up your jar, with apple cider vinegar for a day or two. Eat it. I think it tastes pretty good. It's kind of like pickled garlic, but it doesn't make your body smell like garlic. So you can still live a normal life. You can still have a normal day. So that's a tip. Another option is to get aged garlic extract. So it's a garlic extract, but it also does not make your body smell like garlic. That's great. And you can also get another type of extract, and it's basically one of the main things that gives garlic its medicinal properties, and it's called allicin. I may not be pronouncing that right, but again, I'm going to have links to these where you can actually buy them online in the article that is linked to in the description, okay? So, garlic is great, but you don't want it every day. Instead, you don't want to wait to get sick and then take garlic. That's a poor strategy because we don't want to get sick in the first place, right? So how do we do that? Well, we take tonic herbs regularly before we're sick, not when we're sick. Before we're sick. You can take them when you get sick, but the idea is to take them before you get sick so you don't get sick. So you gotta have herbs that are more gentle, that are more tonics. And by tonic, I mean something that one of the qualities of a tonic is something that can be taken regularly. So you don't get a bad reaction from it, such as becoming allergic to it and stuff like that. Another quality of a tonic herb in the Chinese medical system, it has to build one of the 3 treasures. I won't get into the 3 treasures. If you leave a comment below and let me know, hey, talk about these 3 treasures, I'll do a video. But, for example, a great herb that's worth noting, that's really good for your immune system, is astragalus. Astragalus is incredible. It works on the lung meridian, and it's really phenomenal for boosting your immune system. But these tonic herbs, they're smart. They're not like garlic where they're tough but not smart. They're dual directional. So sometimes people have an overreactive immune system, like in the case with autoimmune diseases and allergies. Their immune system is freaking out. Dual directional herbs, these tonic herbs, they have the ability to turn the immune system up or down, depending on what the body needs. So they have a level of intelligence that's there that isn't there in some of the other basic herbs like garlic and echinacea. Also, just another quick cool thing about astragalus is there's been a breakthrough in lengthening telomeres. And what they did is they found a constituent inside astragalus called astragaloside 4. And that's one of the main things that's used in this formula to actually make your telomeres longer. And telomeres are like the end of your DNA that are a really good indication of how much life you still have left, right? So as you age, your telomeres shorten. And, it's really, if you really know how incredible astragalus is, I mean, it's, like I said, long history of use, very highly regarded in medicine, at least in the Eastern world. This astragaloside 4 discovery is a really recent discovery, but if you know how amazing astragalus is, it's really not that shocking. It's not that surprising that they're discovering things in this astragalus. So there's one other classification of herbs I do want to bring about, and they are tonic herbs, but they're really in their own class, and that's medicinal mushrooms. I'm not talking about your button mushrooms or portobello mushrooms that you'll find in the stores. I'm talking about medicinal mushrooms. These are mushrooms that generally grow on trees. They're safe. And when you go into the store and you look like, you go into like a health food store and you look at stuff for the immune system, you're going to see a lot of formulas have these medicinal mushrooms. So I'll just name a few off. Reishi, agaricus, chaga, maitake, shiitake. Shiitake is really common. You can actually buy it in the health food stores, but it's of unknown quality because sometimes they'll grow it on sawdust instead of trees. Just the different substrate that it's grown on really makes a big difference. All right, I won't go into much more details, but I have a link in this post that goes into more of the medicinal mushrooms. It shows you like some of the key things about them, even studies, and links to where you can buy them. But they are the best thing for the immune system, that you can take, really. So I try to take medicinal mushrooms regularly as much as I can, basically as much as I can afford. And the more that you take, and the more of them, like the more different types, you get what Paul Stamets, which is arguably one of the leading mycologists in the world, and he calls it host defense. That's the name of his company. When you get 5 or 7 of them together, there's a synergistic effect. So get medicinal mushrooms in your life. You can take them in capsules. You can actually buy them and make teas out of them. And I'll get more into that kind of stuff in the future. Let me move on to my third one. The third thing on my list of the best things for your immune system is the sun, which is great. That's great news. Why? Well, it's free. The sun has shown to have a positive epigenetic effect. In fact, it's been shown to have a more dramatic positive epigenetic effect than anything else ever discovered so far. So what does that mean? Before we used to think of just our genetics as something that we're given and they're set in stone and that basically seals our fate. That's not the case. There's a new science of epigenetics, means on top of genetics, like epidermis, on top, the top layer of the skin. It controls how your genes express. So It depends on the environment, right? So just like plants need the right amount of sunlight, depending on the plant. Not all plants need the same amount of sunlight. Just like all people don't have the same sunlight needs. You know, some people need more, some people need less. Some people burn, some people, you know. So you got to figure out how much you need. And it's complicated. Even the tests aren't foolproof yet. But we definitely benefit from the sun. And people, you know, a lot of people are scared. Oh, the sun causes cancer. And there's a tiny little bit of truth to that. But just like water can make you drown. Doesn't mean that you don't want to drink water anymore. You just got to be smart about it, right? And you want to use sun in a responsible way. And if you do so, it will reduce your chance of cancer and reduce your chance of cancers that are more deadly than the rare case of some sort of problem from the sun. So this is actually one of the 4 elements I wrote about in my book, Gifts from Nature, which are the soil, water, air, and the sun. I go through them in depth. The book is only $5, full of information. Most of it is free to apply. And I mean, I really think it's the best bang for your buck. If you know where I can spend $5 and improve my health more than in my ebook, let me know in the comments below. I'm curious because I really think it's the best $5 you can spend. If you don't want to spend the $5, check out my podcast. The first 4 episodes, I go over each of the 4 elements. So you can go to theawarenessrevolution.com/ and then put the number 1, and I'll take you to the first episode. Or if you're already a podcast listener and you want to go to iTunes, go to theawarenessrevolution.com/iTunes. Then I'll take you to my podcast on iTunes. I know this is a lot of information, but I even have my podcast on YouTube. I have a video podcast too, as well as the audio, and I actually go over my ebook like you see it in the video, and as I'm going along with it, so you can see exactly what the ebook looks like and get the feel for it before you even spend $5. So you can't go wrong. There's so much free information out there. So, you know, the podcast and everything is in the description below, so make sure to check that out. But I'll give you one more piece of information with this vitamin D thing. All right, you can't get vitamin D anytime you get sunlight on your skin. It's only during certain times of the day, and that depends on the time of year that it is and where you live. Like if you live up north, you're gonna have less time of day and less time of the year that you can actually get vitamin D from the sun. And the closer that you go to the equator, the more you can get it. The more each day and the longer time period of the season. I live here in Florida, so I'm lucky enough to get it most of the year. But when I can't get it, I supplement. And if you live up north, it means you should probably be supplementing with vitamin D. Really should. And don't even think about, oh, I can get it from my milk. I drink vitamin D milk, which you shouldn't. If you're going to drink milk, you need to drink milk that's raw from grass-fed cows. Don't drink the stuff in the stores. It's another story. The vitamin D isn't even enough to do anything. Forget about that. All right? You want to get it from the sun if you can. And if, for whatever reason, you have a hard time getting enough, it's worth getting some supplements. It's cheap. Supplement with vitamin D. It will activate your immune system. It's good for your bones. It fights depression. And there's probably so much more that it does. And I'm sure vitamin D is just the tip of the iceberg of the benefits that the sun has. So that's why, yeah, you can supplement with vitamin D, but there's nothing like getting fresh sunshine. And when it starts getting warm out and you start getting out in the sun, we all know it. When we're at the beach and we've got that the waves coming in, and we got our bare foot to the sand, and we're out there getting sun, we feel amazing. A lot better than being indoors at home. You know, I'm going off on a tangent, you guys. Hey, subscribe to my channel. Check me out. You know, I've got lots more content coming in. And like I said, I lost my whole audience on YouTube. So if you've watched this far and you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be kicking out so much good information. You're not going to want to miss out on it, I promise you. Plus, I like to engage with people. If you make requests on what you want or ask questions, I will try to answer your questions or do a video on whatever you want me to do a video on. I've got so much information in this brain, I'm just dying to get it out to the world. Alright? And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit that bell icon so that way you get notified when I make new videos. But thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.